Hi there, this is John Carpenter with Tailgate, a show that encompasses food, beer and sports. Today we're in Plymouth and Cape Cod in southeast Massachusetts. What a historic place to start the show. Behind me here is Plymouth Rock, and in the distance is the Mayflower. This is a truly wonderful area to start our filming. I'm getting thirsty and hungry. Let's go and get something to eat and a good brew to wash it down. Okay, we're at the New World Tavern in downtown Plymouth. I'm here with Roman Dombrowski. Hi Roman.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us. A couple of questions for you about your restaurant.
Yeah.
What made you choose this style of restaurant?
I traveled a lot for work around the country and to a lot of craft beer bars, and my business partner and I felt that this would be an opportunity for downtown Plymouth to widen the selection available to consumers, and we decided to give it a shot. Fulfill one of the dreams you have as a young male of owning your own bar, and yeah, that's how we ended up doing this concept.
You said traveling for work. What was your prior job to do?
I used to import beer into the country for a big wholesaler, fine professional wholesaler, yeah. And so both of us had a big background in the beer business, and not only the distribution but also the consumption. So that helped us a lot of.
I'm also a big fan of that.
Absolutely, yeah, I know.
So how did you design the menu here?
I think there are two parts to it. We have a food menu as a tavern restaurant, and we have a beer menu, which is our main focus. The beer menu constantly is very dynamic, not only seasonal items are always changing, also styles are always changing. We thought it was very interesting to expose everybody big array and variety of beers that are now available. More and more breweries, micro and craft breweries are popping up all over the country and worldwide now. So the catalog of beers you can choose from and for customers is constantly growing. So it's one of our selling and main ideas was to create a constant dynamic beer menu. After we settled on that, we thought, well, if we present a better beer menu to the consumer and customer, let's have a taste, but give it a little twist, like our nachos, our blue corn chips. Our burgers come with fried eggs on top, if you choose to have one. So it has a little, it's almost, I wouldn't use the word gourmet, but you know, a step up, something that is a little different from your run-of-the-mill.
So as the beer style has changed, do you change your menu?
We absolutely try, but we don't want to be pushed into a corner where we only have a small selection. We still create a wide variety of items available to people. It shouldn't be limited that the owner decides what the consumer has to drink. We still want to give them options.
If you were to name one style of beer that pairs with any food, what would you say?
That's very difficult. I mean, that's a lot of personal taste is involved in that question. I think a well-balanced lager pilsner from Europe is always a good option for most foods. It's not overwhelming, but you still have the hoppiness. If you go IPAs that are quite hoppy, they're great with spicy foods, Indian, Asian curries that are really spicy, and the bitterness really helps you to clean your palate and get ready for the next bite.
Would you say a pale ale goes with pretty much any meal, being not quite
pale
so
ale,
hoppy?
yeah, pale ale is a good option, absolutely. We believe that wheat beers, or German wheat beers, or Belgian as well, are great with seafood. They balance out the nice seafood flavors. So there's always something you can play with. And then there are beers that are just good for drinking because they're great.
I don't think I've met a beer that isn't good for drinking. Now, I notice you're from Germany.
Yes, I am.
Is there any German influence in any of the menu items?
A little bit. We have a sausage plate with 4 different varieties of sausage, which has a traditional German broth. It has a boar, a venison, and a pheasant sausage on it. We do have a little pretzel, so you can dip your pretzels into different varieties of mustard and salts. So that's about it. I mean, we really want to be open. Like I said, with the beers, we want to be open to everything, so should be the food. And I think it close of our place too. It's the New World Tavern, and part of our motto is old world traditions with new world innovations. So that's kind of what we want to push.
Very good. And with the local area here, with
Yeah.
Plymouth and the Cape Cod area, is there anything that's specific to this area that you encompass into some of your menu?
Well, we have a lobster roll, which is a must in New England, of course.
Probably called just a few feet from here.
We have a couple steps to the ocean, so it couldn't be much fresher. We have fish and chips, which are traditional UK, but we give it a little twist with our batter, which we use for our fish, which includes beer, of course.
Which beer do you use for the batter?
That changes too, whatever we feel. So you might have a batter that's made with a wheat beer that's very mellow and sweet, and some days we feel like let's pop it up, and it's going to be a bitter batter with IPA or a darker beer like the Guinness. So that is ever changing. We do traditional pizzas, but the ingredients are a little bit. Yeah, we use fig for pizzas if you want to. We have a pear spread for our pizza. So we challenge your palate too, just the same way we do with our beers. And we also have, and I think we should have one later, maybe for lunch, a turkey gobbler. So there's no Plymouth turkey. So you got a cranberry chutney, which is great with a turkey gobbler. Get some stuffing in there, and you'll see for yourself later.
You suggest that for lunch? What would you suggest to go with it, to pair it with a beer?
Well, if we talk about local foods, we should talk about a local brewery like Mayflower.
Where's Mayflower?
They are just around the corner, a couple miles down the street from here, and we should do the pale ale or maybe an IPA.
Sounds good, you sold me.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
You're in.
Roman.
Thank you for being here.
Okay, so we've got two of the local dishes here. Roman's got the fresh lobster straight from the ocean, and I have the cranberry sandwich. Wow, doesn't that look like Thanksgiving? Well, gonna wash it down with the Mayflower.
Calls for a beer.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That hits the spot. Okay, we're now here with Drew Brosseau, the owner of Mayflower. Thank you for having us, Drew.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you, thank you. A couple of quick questions about your beer.
Sure.
What made you decide to choose Plymouth as a location for your brewery?
Well, we first came upon the idea of Mayflower as the brand. I'm a designer of the Mayflower.
Oh, you are?
They actually stopped here because they were running out of beer. So once we came up with Mayflower as a brand, it had to be in Plymouth.
And if there's ever a good reason to stop, a lack of beer is a good reason.
Of course, yes.
And what different beers do you have in your portfolio?
We sell 4 beers year-round, and then we have seasonal beers. So all of them are English ales of one style or another.
That's the Mayflower connection?
Exactly. And they range from a golden ale, which is our lightest style, to a pale ale, an India pale ale, and a porter. Those are the beers. And then the seasonals vary with the season appropriately.
Do you have a favorite of your beers?
Not really, but I'd say I drink more of the pale ale than anything else. I'm sort of old school that
It's
way.
excellent beer. I just had one with my turkey gobbler down at the New World Tavern.
Very nice.
Now, with the pale ale, is that your flagship beer?
It was the first beer we brewed, so yes, it is.
And is that your best seller, or do you have one that...
Actually not. The IPA is the best seller. And I think that has a lot to do with both the beer itself and the style of IPA, which is quite popular these days. But compared to some breweries, we actually sell all of them pretty evenly, rather than having one beer that dominates.
And who designs the recipes for your different beers?
It's sort of a top-down and bottom-up process. I sit down with the head brewer and we figure out what we're trying to achieve with it, and then he develops a recipe from there.
Excellent, excellent. Have you changed up styles since when the brewery first opened?
Actually, we haven't. They're all the same. We've done little tweaks here and there to a couple of the beers, but generally speaking, the same recipes as we started with.
And do you have any of your seasonal beers that are specific to the area?
Not particularly. They're more specific to the season, and of course, the seasons here are specific to the area, so I guess they are in that way.
The seasons are very, very pronounced here, aren't they?
Yes.
Very and over the last 20 years, I've been in this country for 20 years, I've noticed a huge change in the beer industry.
Yes.
How do you see it moving on from here?
I think we see more of the same. We've seen more flavorful and unique beers developing for quite a while now and gaining more and more of the share of the market. We're still very tiny in the grand scheme of things, and we think that because of that, we'll continue to grow at a good, healthy rate while the old traditional beers continue to suffer.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
And I'm going to go and have a couple of pints of your fine beer.
Terrific. Enjoy.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Okay, we're here now with Coach John Schiffner, head coach of the Chatham A's. John, thank you for having us.
My pleasure, thank you.
Thank you. Got a couple of questions for you about the Cape Cod League. How long has it been in existence?
There's records that say that it's been around since 1880, going right up to the present day, but that's the oldest scorecards they were finding out from the old town teams when people played town baseball on all up and down Cape Cod.
Excellent. Has there been any teams not on the Cape Cod that played in this league?
Wareham currently is not on Cape Cod, obviously very close, it's right at the bridge, but as far as that, I think that's the only team that is not right on Cape Cod. And then there are some towns now who don't have it, used to have one many years ago.
Oh, what towns are they?
Sagamore used to have a team in the Cape Cod League. Dennis used to have a team in the Cape Cod League. I believe Truro had a team in the Cape Cod League. There were several teams out of the Barnstable area, not just like right now Hyannis is the Hyannis team in the Cape Cod League, but there was the Barnstable team, and I believe there were some other teams from that particular area. Mashpee, I believe, had a team, and they don't at this point. They have the Catuit team. So that's about it. I wasn't around that long, so I don't really know.
How long have you coached the Chatham A's?
This is my 20th year as the manager. I started here in 1978. Went from 1978 to 1982, and I came back in 1990, and I'm still here.
Are you the longest serving coach?
Yes.
Tremendous, tremendous. And has it always been a college-based league?
No, it was originally set up as a town league. The Falmouth team would play the Mashpee team, and the Harwich team play the Chatham team, and it would be, adult males, obviously, playing town baseball, and guys would move. If they changed their jobs, they'd move and be playing for another team the following year because the requirements were you had to live in town, and most of them had from what I was told, my father-in-law played for the Harwich team, and I believe he played for a little bit for the Chatham team. His brother played for the Harwich team, so they said it was very competitive, and so competitive that some teams in late September, early October, when the league was still playing, they would actually entice major leaguers to come down and be ringers to come down and play every once in a while. They said it was quite interesting. Pie Trainer, the Hall of Famer, played at a very early part of the 20th century, but throughout the 30s, 40s, and 50s, there's some names of major league players who had finished their season, would come down, play for a couple dollars, have a little fun, and be on Cape Cod, and they would, be a ringer for one of the Cape Cod town teams.
Oh, that's excellent. Talking about the majors, what's the percentage of players in the majors that came through the Cape League?
It's approximately 1 out of 5. The number varies from 1 out of 5, 1 out of 6, 1 out of 7 big leaguers in the Cape Cod League.
And having coached here for 20-odd years, you must have had some pretty big names.
I've been very fortunate. I know a New England favorite was Mike Lowell, played here for me in 1994. Evan Longoria, the Tampa Bay Rays, played for us in 2005. 2 current Boston Red Sox, Rich Hill and Andrew Miller, played for us. Richie was 2000, 2001. Andrew was 2005. David Bush, another outstanding pitcher in the big leagues, and they're all Alex Presley, the Pittsburgh Pirates. So we've done very, very well. In fact, 2 years running, we had the Rookies of the Year. Evan Longoria was 1 year, and the following year, his teammate Chris Coghlan were Rookies of the Year. So we've done okay here.
That's pretty good. Do they come every now and again?
Not every one of them, but a number of them stay in touch. Obviously they don't come back in the summertime because they're still playing ball, but you hear from them. They do stay in touch. A lot of them do stay in touch with their host families, so that's really special.
Great. Well, Coach Schiffner, thank you very much for your time.
John, it's good to see you.
Good luck with the game tonight against Bourne.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for Tailgate. We've had a terrific time here on Cape Cod and Plymouth. We had a great lunch, some tremendous beer, and we watched a great performance by the Chatham A's in their victorious effort against the Bourne Braves. I'm John Carpenter. We'll see you next time.